followed. I actually don't follow trends because I believe in being you, being yourself, and being your most confident self.
Okay, this industry is the most attractive one. It can attract anyone. It's the most luxurious industry, it's most glamorous one.
Welcome back to another episode of Talk Beyond Title because the title never tells the whole story. Today's episode is going to be a fashionable one from styling, runway, and everything about the fashion world. Joining us today is a very special guest, a woman who's very hardworking, confident, and with a unique style. Let me introduce you to Miss Tulsi Parik Mehta.
It's a lovely introduction.
Thank you. On the other hand, we have Ritika, a fashion student who's ready to direct and dominate the fashion world soon. Hello, Tulsi. How are you?
I'm doing good.
Hi, Ritika. So glad to have you both here.
Thank you so much.
Really excited to have a fun conversation with you.
He can't wait.
Okay. So before we move ahead, we'll have a quick icebreaker session. I'll ask you guys a few questions and you can answer them simultaneously. Okay. So the first question would be one fashion trend you hate but secretly love.
Iron pants.
Okay.
Skinny jeans. I like wearing it on short kurtis.
Okay. Your go-to outfit in a rush.
A short black dress.
It's my pajamas.
Oh, okay. A fashion trend you have never followed.
Never followed. I actually don't follow trends because I believe in being you, being yourself, and being your most confident self.
One word to describe your personal style.
Effortlessly glam.
Ritika.
Basic but trendy.
Okay. One item in your closet you would never give up.
I will again have to say the short black dress.
My cans and boots.
Okay. A fashion rule you always break.
Fashion rule I always break. Quite interesting. I'm someone who sets trends in a way, and someone who believes that just be confident and wear anything with confidence, and you're going to rock.
I just mismatch the color and not wear according to the theme.
Okay.
It happens always.
Yeah, great. So before we move ahead, would you guys like to give a snapshot about your journey so far?
I can. You want me to snap? Okay, so I basically in 2004 went for Miss Gujarat. Won the title. I was also on the cover page of Femina Gujarat. So I think when you've seen women like Aishwarya Rai, Priyanka Chopra, Lara Datta, Dia Mirza, every young girl has aspired for that at some point or the other. And winning the crown for me just built my confidence, I'll say. For me, being in front of the camera is like a kid in a playground. I'm the most confident, comfortable self. Um, that's been my journey. And then 6 years down the line, I went for Mrs. India, won the title, and that gave me a platform and a voice. Being an influencer, which according to me, somebody who, has a voice, has a certain kind of responsibility, was something that I think was the next undertaking. And I love everything fashion, beauty, and lifestyle. And it's been a great journey. And I'm hoping for it to get even better.
Good to hear that.
Talking about me, I started my journey through events, road track. When I was 16, yeah, the first actual event that I did was ABC News. From there, I started doing events in NMACC, where India in Fashion, Lakme Fashion Week, Bombay Times, and through that, I've just been in the industry since the last 4.5 years, probably.
Okay, so you're managing this with your college. That's great. So, Tulsi, can you just take us back to the moment when you first entered the fashion world? What was going around and what made you step into this world?
I think it happened during COVID. I think everybody was trying to figure out something that they could do from home. My Get Ready With Me videos became very popular and something people are demanding even today. They were real, they were raw, they were unfiltered. And I think my journey started from there. I got a lot of views, there were a lot of likes, comments, and I realized that this is what I really want to do. So yeah, that's how it actually started.
So, Ritika, what made you be the part of the fashion world?
Okay, this industry is the most attractive one. It can attract anyone. It's the most luxurious industry. It's most glamorous one. That's how I was even attracted to it. LP.
So, so, what was young Tulsi like? Did she ever dream, or to did you ever thought that you would ever be
The young Tulsi was very confident but chubby because I used to love eating sweets and cakes. So always I think I wanted something which was connected to the glamour, the fashion, the fame. And I always wanted that. And then I think Miss Gujarat was my biggest break because I just entered it on a whim. And when I gave my answer, it was about who is my role model. And I said Sushmita Sen. I got a standing ovation. Now, for that young Tulsi, it was such a moment, and I think that was the biggest boost in my life. I always wanted to do something with actually wanted to go for Miss India, but I have traditional parents who believed that I needed to do something beyond the glamour world, and I decided to pursue clinical psychology. I worked in a government hospital for 3 years, but my passion was somewhere else. And that's how the influencer journey started.
That's great. Yeah. So, h- so you have been in this industry for a few years.
Yes.
Yeah. So, what is your perspective? How fashion and beauty industry has changed over the years?
It's become more body inclusive, more body positivity. I don't think it's limited anymore to caste or creed or color. I think everyone is finding their unique style and making it a fashion statement. So I think it's really nice.
So, Ritika, you are fairly new to this industry. So, what is your current perspective about fashion and beauty?
About fashion and beauty, as she said, the industry has actually accepted a lot of people who first were not accepted. Body positivity is one of it. Um, there used to be a lot of racism also before, and that has also changed right now, which is lovely. Many people with dark tone are getting a good stand in the industry. The models with dark tone are like getting the fame, getting the limelight. Yeah, it's really lovely to see them.
Yeah, I definitely agree with both of you guys. The industry has definitely evolved for the best.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you also organize a lot of expos, like your latest one was, I think, the Grand Wedding Trunk Show.
Yes.
So, how did that start for you?
It's also again entering the influencer industry and being a content creator. Certain opportunities come your way once you start growing in this field. And I'm one of those people that I'll grab any good opportunity and give my 110%. And that's exactly what I did with all the brands that I've worked with. From the Runway Project to Jewelry World to the Ram Wedding Trunk Show to Fiona Diamonds.
Yeah,
I matched what the brand's expectations were and delivered accordingly. And it's been beautiful.
that's great. Yeah. So, Ritika, do you think grand expos like are great for good exposure in the industry?
Oh, yes, definitely. You get to connect with a lot of people, you get to know people, you get to know the perspective from what they're working. Really great.
Good. So let's dive into a more industry oriented question.
Okay.
So, Tulsi, were there any unexpected skills you feel which played a very big part in your success in the fashion world?
Confidence, especially in front of the camera. Oration skills, which is one very important thing that when you're conveying a point, the other person should be able to understand. Fluency in any language, I think, is very important. And basically, I I think confidence.
Yeah. So do you think So do you think personal branding also plays a very crucial role in this?
Being an influencer is you're becoming your own brand, and that is what the other brands resonate with. And I think it's very important that you walk the talk, you kind of become the brand, become the face of the brand. So you basically invest that much into yourself.
Yeah, right. So Ritika, what do you think is the most important skill right now in the industry?
Confidence and the way you carry yourself.
Yeah,
Is
that
really
definitely is. Yeah. So, Tulsi, as someone in the spotlight, do you feel the pressure to look perfect all the time? And how do you manage that?
Okay, interesting. I think there's always a little pressure because you people are looking up to you. People are wanting to know what you're wearing or how you style it. So there is a little bit of pressure, but for me, I think I love dressing up. I love styling. I think just puts a whole look together and enhances your personality. So it comes very naturally to me. It's not too much effort that I'm putting in.
Yeah. Do you feel that you also need to look perfect on social
Oh,
media?
yes, definitely. Currently, I mean, your followers want you to be perfect. If they're just waiting for that one mistake that you do, but yeah, definitely you need to be perfect.
Okay. So, both of you guys have experienced the Bombay Times Fashion Week. You as a model walking the ramp, and you as a student working backstage as a stylist. So, how different were your perspectives? I would love to get to know both of your stories.
So it's quite interesting because in 2014, I had gone to see the show of Bombay Times Fashion Week. And at that point, I manifested,
Yeah.
I'm going to walk this ramp one day. So when the opportunity came, like I said, I feel like a kid in the playground, in front of the camera, on ramp. And I think I'm a most confident self. So when the opportunity came, I grabbed it with both hands and people loved what I wore, the way I walked. So I think it was a success. And yeah, that's my perspective. I think also it's a great opportunity for a lot of people, because you get to be at that platform. Homer Times is a huge name. And to be associated with it in some way
Yeah,
is definitely going to add to you as well.
definitely.
For me, working backstage, it's really chaotic, but it's like it gives you a lot of exposure. Working with different people, different minds, different perspectives. The hectic work actually makes you build that confidence in you. It makes you face the situation. It's like if you're like fallen in the most difficult situation, oh, you know you can get out of it because you have done the backstage thing. So in last moment, it's also happened. So
So, it keeps you ready for the world.
definitely.
Okay. So, in your journey so far, have you guys ever had a moment that you felt like giving up?
Yeah, any industry, there's going to be days that you're going to feel low or probably put a lot of effort into a reel or a video and it didn't perform that well.
Yeah.
And you're going to question things. But I think the key is to keep going. And this is something that I heard at some point, and that is be relentless in the pursuit of that which sets your soul on fire.
Wow.
And I follow that completely.
Great.
For me, yes, definitely. It's really difficult to manage college, to manage work, to manage the side hustles and everything. Difficult at times, but yeah, you need to make a way through it.
Yeah, right. So has there been any one specific experience in class, on the set, or maybe even backstage that has truly changed you as a person?
I think in my initial days when I was struggling as an influencer and when brands reject your work or they feel you're not up to the mark. And I think for me it was I'm gonna strive harder. I'm gonna do a better job. There's always a tomorrow.
Yeah.
And I think that was a very defining thing in my life.
For me, in 2021, that was the first time I had attended my first fashion week. That was Bombay Times. And I was like, oh my God, I was so keen to know how this thing works, how the backstage works. And that was when I was in the process of taking admission in a fashion college. I was like more interested. Oh, one day I have to like be on the set, working out things, manage the designers. And then in 2023 was the first time I was working backstage.
Okay.
And yeah, I got the actual thing that I dreamt of. I have to do that thing. And I did that. There are many more things to do yet in life. But yeah,
So now we'll move towards a really fun segment. This is going to be a rapid fire. Um, my first question would be heels or sneakers?
Heels.
Designing or styling? What's more fun? Okay. A designer you would die to work with.
Sabyasachi.
oh yeah, definitely.
One word to describe the future fashion.
Sustainable.
Best fashion advice you have ever received.
Best fashion advice would be be you, like be the vivacious, confident woman that you are, and never change.
Great. Most embarrassing fashion moment.
Very short mini skirt.
Oh, even I've got that. From relatives though. Oh no.
No, I got it from the. I went for the
Minimalist or maximalist.
maximalist.
One celeb whose style you admire.
Priyanka Chopra,
Vintage or new collection.
the new collection.
Most inspiring city for fashion.
Paris.
Same thing.
Yes, Paris.
Your current favorite designer.
Designer. Okay. Current favorite designer. I have many. Manish Malhotra.
Okay.
All time evergreen too.
The most exotic Bollywood outfits.
Okay, great. One skill you are determined to master.
You're talking fluently in Hindi.
One fashion item you can't live without.
One fashion item I can't live without. Necklaces.
Okay. Yeah.
I guess watch.
Okay. Trend you are most excited about right now.
Which trend? Like she said, sustainability. Because we have to be conscious about the environment. Also, I would have to say coat sets.
Fashion icon. Dead or alive, anything.
Rekha. Marilyn Monroe.
Okay. Online shopping or in-store experience.
In store.
If you could only wear one color for the rest of your life.
Black. Evergreen. See, today also I'm wearing black. So, my go-to color.
So now we'll play a fun little game where Tulsi ma'am will burst some bubbles of expectations for Ritika. Okay? So Ritika, being a backstage artist, you have worked as a stylist. Do you ever feel like you want to be on the stage in front of the camera?
Oh, I definitely wish to, but there are a lot of negativity, not really negativity, but body positivity needs to actually improve a little because as my height is short, there's no actual scope to be in front of the ramp or walking on the ramp. But yeah, I would actually love if there are some changes made and I get a chance to do that. I love to do that.
Would get a chance to be at a pageant. Would you?
Yeah, I would definitely love to take it in hand.
Tulsi ma'am, you have been a part of Mrs. India. So would you like to share your experience? Do you feel what she said?
I think it's amazing now because I think the mindset is drastically changing. It's more about personality. It's more about how you carry yourself, rather than your the height. Yes, a certain height is required, but it's not like a necessity. In fact, we've taken plus size models also at the international pageant. So I think the mindset is drastically changing, and it's just getting better.
Would you like to give her some advice if she ever wishes to be in front of the camera or stage?
I think everyone has this kind of internal passion. internal talent. And I think it's all about being confident, being you, being very unique, because that is beautiful, and not letting others make you feel small. So I think truly believing in your own talent, skills, and enhance that. Yeah.
So, Tulsi ma'am, you recently won an award by Women TV for the most enterprising influencer.
Yeah.
So, how did you reach that?
I
And
think for any influencer, anyone pursuing something that they're really passionate about, it's amazing to receive recognition. And the best part is that they just send me a message saying that we've seen your journey, we are very inspired by it, and we want to give it recognition. And it was such an amazing experience because I went to Pune, which is where the awards were happening, and I met amazing influencers. I met women from all walks of life. This was all about empowering women and celebrating women. And I think being an influencer is also a lot to do with inspiring people to pursue their passion, to break the glass ceiling, and to be limitless.
Yeah.
So I think the award was more for that.
right. So, Ritika, now that you have recently entered the industry, do you feel that it is all glam and red carpets, or is there some hustle behind too?
It's actually glam, it's red carpet, but to reach that red carpet, you need to do a lot of hustle.
Okay.
I'll agree with that. There's a lot of hard work. What you see is the final shots, but what effort goes into it. It's a lot. It's a constant of retakes.
Yeah.
It's a constant of this angle's not right or this lighting's not right. So it's a lot of hard work, a lot of patience, a lot of resilience, and you reach there.
So, Ritika, do you think when you get your first big work gig, it will be through networking, social media, or it would be a lucky opportunity?
Truly by networking, it's the way we make contacts. It's like they are the one who are actually gonna give me work.
Okay.
There's no luck. There's no luck that plays ever.
Okay. Ma'am, do you agree with what she said?
So I'm going to say this networking, yes, very important, but also performing well, giving good quality shoots, good quality videos, and aligning with your brand's expectations. Very, very important if you want to rise.
Okay. And for you, how did the first door in the industry open for you?
I would have to say through Mrs. India.
Oh.
It's a great platform. It's a great voice for women who want to make a change.
Yeah.
And if you look at my profile, I am a mother, but I'm not a mom influencer.
Yeah.
I don't want to be a woman who is married and having a child, but I want an identity of.
So, Ritika, what kind of work environment are you expecting in the industry? Is it collaborative, creative, or competitive?
I'll prefer creative because where I can actually put my imagination to reality and work on it. That actually put my whole heart in that field or in that work.
Yeah. And based on your journey, how would you describe the work culture?
It's a fair culture. It's a very competitive culture. I think everyone nowadays with a phone wants to do something and be an influencer and be in front of the camera, which is what we are seeing. But I would just say that the hustle is necessary, networking is necessary, hard work is very, very necessary, and the right team of people is very necessary.
Definitely. So now we'll have a fun segment where I'll be giving you some controversial, spicy questions. Let's hear your side of the story.
Yeah.
Do you think fashion still has a long way to go with body positivity?
Yes, the mindset is definitely changing. There's a shift, but it will take some time to fully be there and fully accept the body. It's a very easy term to use, and there is a shift happening. But I think the real change needs to be now.
Yeah. What's an overrated designer in your opinion?
I think the price too high, but I think you cannot put a price on creativity, because everyone has put in their own skill, their own creativity, their own intricacy in their work, and that is what they're charging.
Any specific designer you want to mention?
I'm not going down that road. I have many in mind, but I'm not.
Okay. Have you ever worked for a brand you personally don't align with?
I have.
Okay.
I have. In my initial days, because the money was really good, and the high was really good. So yes, I have, but I didn't fully align with it.
Who's one model you admire but you would never accept it in front of her?
One model.
Yeah.
I see Javed.
Okay.
Okay. I love her fashion choices, but she's controversial.
Okay. Yeah. What do you think?
I mean, I admire that person. I mean, I admire her, but I'll take her name. I don't need to like be sharp. It's Irish Mystery. If everyone knows, she walks all the runways. She has been in the industry since a very long time. And talking about male models, it's Ujjwal Dhar. These people, they have been in the industry. They have walked many, many, many runways till now in India, and they have amazing work.
Okay. So you appreciate that.
Yeah.
In the fashion industry, do you think it is still about talent or it is just about who goes viral?
Virality is very important. But talent is also required because the virality can only take you to a certain point. The talent is what will count after that.
Do fashion schools actually prepare you for the industry or are they outdated or overpriced?
Fashion schools do prepare you to how you should work in the industry, but I don't think they give actual exposure to the industry. They are a part of your journey, but they aren't your entire journey.
Okay. Do you feel that?
Fashion schools, I think it's important to learn the aspects of designing, styling, being able to create that design. So I think fashion schools are very important.
So now I'll be giving you some hypothetical situations and you have to react to it or how you will react in that situation. So imagine you are at a shoot and nothing is going the right way. You are expected to be on the stage in the next 10 minutes. How would you react? Would you still give it a shot or if you are under pressure?
Okay, so if I'm talking about myself, I have never backed out from anything. It could be I could be fainting, I could be severely dehydrated. Once I make a commitment, I will go through with it. I might fail in that, but I will still give my 100%.
What do you have?
Same answer. I love the way she answered, and definitely the right point that she has put in.
Okay. So imagine you are backstage and you overhear some designer or maybe a stylist or maybe some professor who is harshly criticizing your look or maybe your idea or your performance. Would you confront them, ignore them, or let your work speak for it?
Let my work speak for it.
I let my work speak for it, and I think I will look at it from his or her perspective because they would definitely have more knowledge about what they're talking,
Yes.
even if it hurts.
Oh, yeah. Just before walking the ramp or presenting a fashion project, there's a wardrobe malfunction or maybe a technical issue. How would you handle it?
So by God's grace, I've not had a malfunction up till now, and I'm hoping that streak continues. But I think important thing, you can sometimes even your heel can break. I'll put it this way: you have to compose yourself, and you have to. I have seen models on runways walk without that one heel, and I think I would do exactly the same.
I have done that same thing. I was working for Rotaract Fashion Week that happened in Dadar Clubhouse in 2020 or 2021, I guess. And that time, I forgot my heels somewhere, so I have to work without heels.
Imagine you are working with a team, either on a set or just, working on a group project, and your creative inputs are being ignored. Will you speak up or stay quiet or make your voice heard?
I'll make my voice heard. I will probably put it more gently that I feel these are the changes required. But at the end of the day, I will go with the vision of the design.
Imagine it's a shoot day and you have been working for more than 12 hours. You are really exhausted, but then the designer or the photographer asks you just one more outfit is left or one more look is left, would you push through it for the team or will you speak up and keep your limits?
I will push through for the team because I have actually done that at a shoot. I took a 10-minute break, got some maza, had it because I was literally fainting. But like I said, I will persevere through and I will give the brand exactly what they want.
Because there are a lot of people working.
Yeah, it's a lot of effort. It's a team effort.
Yeah,
And they've also put in their hard work. So you have to go to it.
I totally agree. Yeah. So my next question is for both of you guys. Can you tell me one thing you absolutely love about this industry and also one thing you would wish to change?
Okay, like I said, I love the fact that I have a voice. My followers resonate with what I'm saying and truly believe in what I am portraying to them.
Yeah.
And the love. The love is so immense. I think it's overwhelming. And I would not give that up finally.
And what would you like to change?
Change more inclusivity. I believe that it's very important to now recognize real people, real bodies. Not everyone's a model, and I think that is something that should change. Yeah.
Yeah. What do you like? What do you absolutely love about the industry and one thing you would like to change?
One thing that I absolutely love about the industry is that it's open for everyone and anyone to enter in it if you have those guts to face the situation. I love it. And one thing I want to change is nepotism. I think because there's a lot of nepotism working in the industry. You need a strong contact to get into it. And me coming from a background where none of my parents, none of my relatives who are in fashion industry, it's been a lot of hustle to get into the industry, to make contacts, and then someone from somewhere having no knowledge about it just enters the industry. Yeah, that's a part which needs to be changed.
But you definitely get to learn a lot from this industry, right?
A lot, but I don't fully agree with what she's saying because I don't think it's the influencer industry. It's so much nepotism. It's more about being at the right time. Yes, networking too. Three would be a great team, and you working that hard that your videos literally people love it. They will look forward to it. So I think it's more important your team
Yeah.
and the kind of skills you want to bring to the table. Nepotism is more in Bollywood. It's more in the film industry, I would say. But I have not seen it so much in the influencer.
But in the runway industry, if you take from that perspective, the designer, every designer can't enter the show.
Okay, you mean it from that view?
I mean, to enter the show, you need a strong contact. If any fashion week, you need.
So I think what you require is a certain amount of funds, because the participation cost is high. Yes, the connections, good models walking for your show. And talking about me, I come from a background where I have created my own space in this industry. I'm not a nepo kid or nepo connections whatsoever. For me, it was being at the right place, creating the right impact, and making a name for myself. So it's been hard work, it's been hustle, it's been relentless pursuit of the fashion world or of brands. And yeah, I'm pretty proud of my job.
Great. So Ritika, what is the biggest challenge you have faced as a fashion student?
Biggest challenge, I guess, it's handling college and work together. It's been a challenge because every day, Monday to Saturday, college. Then again, from Saturday is the most hectic one if I have any events lined up. From college, I have to rush to the event. Then again, Sunday is packed. It's been like so many times the entire month. I don't even get one day for myself or to relax. That definitely is.
A little hectic.
Yeah.
So Tulsi ma'am, what advice would you give to fashion students like Ritika?
Be your creative self, be you, be unique. Don't really follow any trends. and do what you're truly passionate about.
That's
Me so much. I just love that.
Thank you. I'm so glad.
And that brings us to the end of another episode. Thank you, Tulsi ma'am and Ritika, for joining us and giving fun and insightful stories.
Thank you so much for having me.
So, if you have viewed till here, don't forget to follow us on our Instagram, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and don't forget to like this video. Until next time, I'm Twinkle Raheja, and this is Talk Beyond Title signing off.